Hello, everyone. First, do we have any petitions, public comments, or community events? Fred?
Yes, I have a petition. On March 25th is going to be a training session, and my petition is that we be given credit for attending such things.
The training session for the mapping?
Yes, exactly.
What is the date on that? It's March?
March 20.
March 25th. Monday.
I think we're going to do a little more investigating on whether it was something that we could get credit for. We had talked about that. I'll
Okay,
follow
that,
up.
I understand that they were willing to give credit.
Who's they?
It's up to the town board.
Yeah.
The PDC would give credit, but it's at your discretion to give the credit.
I'll talk to you later about it, Fred, but we're going to look into it before next month's meeting. But I appreciate what you're saying. I don't think the board will have a problem with it as long as we have some kind of official okay that training will qualify. It's
Thank you.
okay? You plan on going?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Anybody else? Sheriff?
I'd just like to comment that the highway department did a really great job with the snow.
Thank you. I'll let Carl know.
Thank you.
Not sick, right?
Oh, yes.
He'll appreciate it. Ken, do you want to start on committee report?
Sure.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't do the minutes. Sorry. We have actually January 2nd, 14. January 9th, 14, and then the additional attachment for the extra work that Councilman Ryan and I did at the courts for the audit. So I don't know if anyone wants to look that over.
I'll move to accept. I'll second.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilman Green? Yes. Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. Anyone else?
Okay, the Rec Commission, the meetings, the minutes for the meeting in January are on file with the town clerk. The ZBA, there was no action in January. The High Falls Water District, the cameras have been installed and all is well up in the High Falls Water District. And lastly, the food pantry. There's been a little bit of change in leadership at the food pantry. Peter Sorrentino has been appointed the new director of the pantry for day-to-day operations. And I've taken the role of just going back to the board and being on that. So Peter's taken it and run with it. And it's just, it seems like every month we're getting bigger, we're getting better, we're getting smarter. And the food pantry's here to stay. There was concern going back a few months, as many people know, that with Nora Snyder leaving, that we wouldn't be able to sustain the food pantry, and we proven otherwise, and Peter's going to do a great job as a director. So, and tagline to that is, we always need volunteers, help, and money. So, thank you.
That's all. Water and Sewer Department, as everyone probably knows, we had our water main break down on the north side of the bridge by St. Peter's. The break was right up at the abutment. When I was down there, I got some pictures off, so we do have them on file just to justify and to show what had happened. Like I said, it was right up to the abutment. We're still working on adjusting meter readings and charges and that, so that's an ongoing process. I understand that there was a water leakage today on Main Street down by the Rosendale Cafe that was to be addressed, and I guess it was
They're
addressed,
gonna be working on
and that'll be worked on. As far as that pretty much is the tally for the water and sewer. As for the Youth Commission, well, we broke the record, our St. Pauli clothing locker out there, we made $50.87, so our grand total since it's been there is $1,007.38. That is really working out, and once again, that all money channels back to the town, especially the youth, so please, if you're going to discard any of your clothing and that, to please use our St. Pauli than the other ones that you find around. 12-year-old Nick Plumeri from High Falls wrote an article about the youth center for Good Life magazine, was paid handsomely, I think $40. And if anybody picks up that article, the 12-year-old young man did a real nice job. So my kudos to him, and great job. T-ball sponsor letters have been mailed out. Some have already been returned. If anyone knows anyone that would like to sponsor a T-ball team, help out, or anything in any way, or has a young child that would want to be involved, please contact Kathy Wade. That would be great. For the Black History Month, the county historian Ann Gordon met up with Kathy and took the time to take Kathy around through Esopus, Riften, and Kathy was overwhelmed and really very much interested in everything that Ann had to say. And I didn't even realize how close to Journey Truth was born from here. It's basically right across the dam going into Riften, right over by Coffee System is the house that she was born in. But she found it very informative and is hoping that the bus or the van trip around to these different locations where she traveled is going to be greatly attended. So I just want to pass that on to everyone. So if anyone wants to get some history in this, it would be a great thing to get involved in and go to. Car show. We're still working on that. It appears, and I don't want to hold this all together, that
May 19th.
May 19th. But I guess that's the date, but the real concern is that the guys that started, have been doing it the past 8-9 years, I guess are bowing out, from what I understand. I haven't heard it right from their mouth, but through the gossip line, I've been hearing. So we're trying to prepare ourselves to make way to keep it going, volunteers and that, because it is something that everyone is interested in, especially the young kids nowadays, the old guys like me, and it generates money for the youth. So that's the real bottom line, to put money for the youth program. So if everybody would just kind of keep that in the back of their mind and see if they are free May 19th to help park cars or give out registration forms, whatever. That's going to be coming up. And the Super Bowl contest raised $100 every year. We take that $100 and give it to a recipient. And this year, the $100 was donated to the Rosendale Theater Capital Campaign. So that was $100 to them. And we did talk about with the events that happened over in Connecticut, and it seems that it's popping up more and more about the cameras for the building for the youth.
Yeah, we're actually having a workplace convention meeting tomorrow, so we'll bring
Great,
that on the
great.
agenda.
And I think that covers it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. I actually missed the last environmental meeting. I was having surgery. So I do know that I have two other things on the agenda that will address the workshop, the energy workshop April 13th. And as we said last week, we're looking to have the environmental commission work on the street lighting. Is there anything else, Jen, that you want to bring up?
I just wanted to mention we're having this Energy Expo and Deep Energy Retrofit Workshop. It's going to be a big event here on Saturday, April 13th, from noon to 5, and then a tour of a building that's undergone this transformation. Following that.
Let me just ask you to hold up because it's
Okay.
an item on the agenda.
Oh, okay. Well, if I could mention, I'll skip it. We are,
If you have other things that.
yeah, we are, because we're having this event, we are not doing the Earth Fest this year. Instead, we're actually going to be doing some guided nature walks of Rosendale for families to explore the resources that are right in our backyard. So there'll be more information about that.
Great.
Recycling report, end of the year. For 2012, they recycled through our center up there 215.75 tons of recyclable material. I think that goes good for everybody that uses that up there. Month of January, took in $4,536 worth of coupons, checks, cash, expenses of $25.65, and we had a net gain of $1,970.13, which isn't bad for January. And we also took in $506.60 in aluminum and $133.98 in electronics. So again, big revenue generator, still gonna be up there, best in the county.
That 7.5 tons was over what period of time?
That's for the whole year,
For the whole year.
215.75 tons.
And while you're on that subject, I just want to mention that our transfer stations are at risk of losing their revenue from recycling, and the supervisors have been getting together to try to band together to say how important it is to the towns to be able to recycle the metals and the things that we get revenue from. And to tell you the truth, if the legislators decide that they want to take that over through the flow control, then we really don't have a use for having a transfer station. There's no sense in having a transfer station. So I just urge you guys, if you have an opportunity to reach out to legislators, let them know that towns would like to keep our transfer stations operating and taking care of the metals, the electronics, and the things. If you want more detail about it, I can give you, but it's basically one of those situations where they're in negotiations for changing how the law is written by the state so that they can have that included in their contract. So,
Jeannie, I spoke with several legislators and also several UCRA people about this, because it was a red flag for me too, and a lot of the towns. The intention is to have flow control over the
solid waste.
recyclable, the regulated recyclable.
I understand, but we have to
But
be
that
really careful.
language has to,
That's right. And it's one of those situations where we want to make sure that it heads in the right direction. Because from my understanding is the resource recovery does not even have the capabilities to do what we do right now. They would have to retrofit.
Well, what they're doing is, they built a MRF for source separated material, and, or at least 2 streams of material, and now everything, the paper and the bottle cans and everything are commingled by the haulers, not at our transfer stations, but, so they have to ship that up to Waste Management, who gets the money, and it costs us shipping. We have a system that was, since I left, poorly designed and is really broken. We are exporting our waste all the way across the state. The numbers on that, Mabel Garrigan and Charlie Landy, 2 very different people, crunched the same information and came up with the savings if we have a local landfill. In order to have a local landfill, they have to have flow control. And they want to have flow control of the bottles and cans and paper, so they're planning to do it in 2 stages, pass that legislation and then pass another piece, or try to, and then pass another piece that takes the scrap metal and leaves it back with the town.
I understand all that. All I'm saying is at this point, I don't think any of us at the supervisor level are confident that that's the way it's going. And we did have several of the supervisors at one of the legislators' meetings before flow control was voted in to express the concern and the fact that we're interested in keeping the recycling that we now do.
Well, the bottom line, let me understand, the bottom line is basically, they want to dip into our till that helps generate money for our town and take it to what, the county or the state level?
County.
County level. So,
Well, at this point, it's not, nothing's been, 100% set, because what they're doing right now is voting to change the law, the way the law is written. So it's just a concern, we just have to watch it, and we have to make sure that it goes the way.
And our legislator is Rob Parity, and he'd be a good person to speak with.
I would suggest that we ask Mr. Parity to come to one of our meetings so we
Absolutely.
can have this conversation.
yes.
And see for ourselves, where he sits on
I
the issue.
agree with you.
I'm okay with that.
So, open invitation to Mr. Parity to come to one of our meetings.
It's a great
Let's talk about this issue, and, so that we as elected representatives can report back to our people in Rosendale, because it is a dollar and cents issue ultimately.
And the supervisors are addressing legislators collectively to protest the removal of the recycling, so just so you know that.
So are we going to send him a letter personally to?
Yeah, I'll call him.
There you go.
I'll call him.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Bob. You want to say that?
I'll call him.
Other than that, highway, Jer filled in the blanks for me there, so I'm done.
Let's see, the planning board meets tomorrow night. The records of the previous meeting are on file, and I see a couple planning board members. Are there any 3 planning board members at first glance? Anything you would like to add? Billy?
Last month, Calico, Mark Mazzio, comes with a very nice project in Tilson, environmentally aimed landscaping. He's doing it in a very sensitive area, which is very good for his business. If he can do his own project there, hopefully he can sell his methodology to other people that also have environmentally sensitive properties. I think it is going to be very nice when it's done.
Billy, you don't sound so good.
You know you got a frog in your throat?
I was gonna say, you asked the wrong person to speak.
The ZBA met 2 weeks ago, I think. I mean, the ZRC, the zoning code review committee, and completed their task. So I believe everything will be forwarded to the town board and to the planning board for review. And I just want to commend the people who stuck by, literally hundreds of hours in the room. Is Jen and Fred and Billy, Tim Morrison's not here, and Gary, Ken Olderhoff, and I'm going to miss people, and I'm sorry, but
If I may, there was a question raised only partly in jest at our last meeting as to who approves the minutes of the meeting, because the committee will self-extinguish. And the only answer I can come up with personally is it would be referred to the town board. So, Mana, as your liaison, was present, and she can recommend to the town board the accuracy of the minutes submitted to her. I have no other solution. They have to be approved by somebody.
Fred brought this up last week, and I said when we had it, we would find out if, what is the procedure for that. So we'll follow up on that, Fred.
I can't imagine anything else to do. I mean, the committee can't, somebody has to.
Fred, I
I'm
think
sure
your solution will suffice.
Thank you.
Either that or just call another meeting for the purpose of accepting the.
Then they would
But
have
then
to
you
take
have
it.
another
And
one.
having a beer.
We got how many in the room right now? You got a
Yeah, we
quorum?
have a quorum.
Uh-oh,
In favor.
uh-oh.
And I just also want to mention, this cold that I had the tail end of, I was really still too sick to go out last night, but I heard that the event here last night with A.J. Williams-Myers was really wonderful. And a reminder that this Saturday, it's not too late to join the tour on the Trail of Sojourner Truth. And they'll be meeting here from 1 to 4.
No, that's Kathy, she's unable to do it because.
Man, I
she's
just
not
went over
sick.
this, when I gave the youth commission report.
Oh,
Were you here?
I
She was
may have
preparing
been
for it.
reading
She was
Oh.
preparing her.
the packet
Okay.
and not,
Right.
my hearing is not as good as it could be
What?
either, I apologize.
No, I kind of went over
So
that.
that is canceled,
It's
No.
postponed.
postponed until
Yeah.
better weather because
April
there's no place,
6th, I
safe
think.
places to pull off.
Oh.
And she's concerned.
Okay, I apologize. And then there are a couple other events coming up if anybody wants to go over those. And I think that's it.
Maybe financial report?
I just want to ask Jen one quick question. Back to the street lady. Now that they're all up and running,
We're gonna turn them off.
did you hear that? No, I was reading my,
Just like friends.
you see how it goes around?
Wait for it to be on the agenda.
It's gonna be a nice
It's
question, too.
exciting.
It's gonna be a nice
Can't
question.
Bob, if you'll let Manny know what's going on, I'll keep him.
Okay.
Apparently I didn't hear it, because I was right there with Amanda, listening to what she had to say.
The financial report, in the general fund, we have $1,728,440.23. In highway, we have $122,013.96. Capital highway, $31,293.03. In capital, $145,986.79. And rec sub, $24,568.73. And rec capital, $790.94. And light, $27,044.16. We have some appointments and resignations to do. I don't know, do you want to get up during this time, Karen? I'll make a motion to accept the resignations, and then how about if you get up? First, I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Scott McCreary.
Finally had enough of you being boss, man.
Mine's next.
Not accept.
No,
Don't
not-
say that.
not mine.
Don't say that.
It's cold up here now, after being a couple months before.
Personal problems, personal issues. Do we need to do both of them? Want me to do all of them? Okay.
Do both resignations.
Yeah, and then
Both, please.
a motion to accept the resignation of Scott McCreary and
I'll second.
Roll the vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. Harry has a couple of applicants for new positions, and,
Just for
I'm
the,
sorry.
for the minutes tonight, can we do all of the resignations first?
oh, you want to do them all first?
And
Yes,
it
Oh,
flows,
okay.
it flows in the minutes.
I'm
that
sorry,
we-
there's one other, we have one from Water and Sewer also, a motion to accept the resignation of John Visconti.
I'll second.
Roll the vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. It's the afternoon or evening, they all run together. Before I do, I just had a couple things I wanted to address the board with, of just progress on some things that we've been working with. A reminder that this year we have snow, or last year we did the parking on Main Street. We have to make sure that, I'm trying to get my guys to enforce that. I know we have made a couple of problems for some people, I guess I'll say, just because of the parking issue, the snow removal and whatnot. So please, if anybody lives on Main Street or has friends, just remind them after 10 to have the car off of Main Street. It's helpful for the snow plows, and I don't get notice that far in advance from the highway department when they're gonna remove the snow from Main Street. So it's just easy to comply with the no parking on the streets. We try to be as gentle about it as possible, as we always do. I know you're gonna cover streetlights, but my guys did do a bunch of the surveys, and I forgot to ask Lynn, did she send that back
No,
down?
I didn't get that yet.
Okay, we're almost done, there's more streetlights than I thought. So we're almost done. I think we had 2 or 3 pages. I had asked the guys to go out and check on that, so I'll double check in the morning to see where we're at, because I did forget to check tonight.
Thank you.
We've been toward it to us.
That was the idea, yeah.
Soul, S-O-U-L-H. Last night, I attended the school board meeting in Rosendale Valley, and I attended that meeting because they did have a discussion on a school resource officer from the sheriff's office. The school board was for that, and I know there'll be some discussion on how the budget will work, and it's not an official thing yet, but there was a positive discussion on that. So anybody that has children in the Rosendale Valley School District, I think it's an asset, and it's a program. I was a school resource officer at BOCES Alternative Education Center. It's a wonderful opportunity for someone to be there, and it's a wonderful opportunity for the school, the parents, and the children to have somebody there to do that. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had. So I'm excited to, and again, that would be a sheriff's deputy, not a Rosendale policeman that would be assigned there. The car that we purchased is almost ready. I hope to have that on the road in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, there's a lot of equipment that goes in them and all of that, so we're working on that. And one thing at the school board meeting, it's really off topic for police, but a student was there and they made a video. It's called Gander Style, and it's on YouTube. If anybody has the opportunity to put Gander Style in YouTube, I really enjoyed this 4-minute video that these kids made. It was really top-notch, and I just wanted to mention that to the public here. I give kudos to the young men and women that participated in that, because it was really a neat thing to do. But without further ado, the reason why I am here is I'm asking the board to appoint, as we always do this time of year, I ask that I have a couple of recruits come on board to help me with the summer issues, with the street festival and all of that. So in front of you tonight in your packet, you should have 2 applicants, Dan DeLeo, right? I asked Dan, I said, I'm not going to screw your name up, but then you should have me first instead of all of this agenda to forget what I asked him. And then Christopher Fisher. Both of the Christopher currently lives up in Shandaken, but his grandmother lives in town, and then Dan lives in Bloomington, so they're both tied to the community. Obviously, they've undergone an extensive background investigation, and I'm asking the board to appoint them to a part-time recruit position, which I have in the budget to handle, and they will be put on the road as a recruit until they finish up the phase 2 of the police academy. Again, and we do this every year, which will be in July. My intentions is to have them, once a little bit warmer weather comes around, is start being out on Main Street on Friday and Saturday nights, because as we're well aware and we're happy to have, there's a lot of activity, and I just want to make sure that somebody's out there helping with whatever they can help. So again, and guys, if you would just stand up and give a so if there's no questions, I will turn the board back over, the message back over to you.
Good night.
Yes.
Just like to welcome you guys on board. And to Chris, I see that you work for Rob Wright.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think I said, recall your face in a little cubbyhole. I was the business agent for that store.
Oh.
I'll have to look through my records to see if I lost any cases to your surveillance. Welcome aboard.
So that means we have 2 Fishers on the police force now?
Mr. and Mr., yes.
There's a room for 2.
There's always room for.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion to appoint Christopher Fisher and Daniel DeLeo as police officers to the Rosendale Police Department and at a salary per contract. I don't know what that entry level is.
Entry level is actually minimum wage.
Okay, is that a minimum?
Yeah, because until they're certified,
trained, yeah.
that allows me to give them hours. If not, I couldn't afford it.
I'll second it.
I didn't know she was up.
She's done.
I'm sorry.
Councilman Bowles,
Yes.
Councilwoman Green,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Gene,
Thank you, welcome, guys.
I know we have a long agenda, but before Chief leaves, do you want to address the parking lot issue?
We can, we were, I think you know that I asked
Officer Fisher.
Officer Fisher to go over and check on the cars that have been in the parking lot for more than 72 hours.
Correct.
Which it appeared that they were in there for more than 72 hours because the snow had been on them. I don't know what the outcome was, but he said he was taking care of that.
At this point, we put warning stickers on them.
Okay.
The issue, and I'll ask the board again, and we can have a discussion after hours or what have you, is that, again, I'm under the understanding that we lease that, and it is a municipal lot, correct?
Yes.
So that would fall within our responsibility. And that was my understanding as it has been. I don't have a problem, enforcing that, and I realize in conditions that it's been there for 5, 6, 7, 8 days, it becomes a snow removal problem. So, again, we'll be as lenient as possible, but we also have to do what is right to make sure that it's safe over there.
Well, the reason it really came up is because Carl was out sick, okay? And he's usually been the lead person to check over there, check when there was a need. So I didn't have him there to do that.
That's fine.
And the other thing was we have a new person who's taking care of the property because Don has died since last year, or even, we didn't have any issues last year because of snow. So his daughter, Deb, is taking over, and she's just trying to understand what her responsibilities are and what the town's responsibilities are. And what I've done is given Bob a call to say, and Carl to say, how has the past practice been? Because I don't want to just move in and start doing things differently. And I also feel like the park and ride that's the idea, it's to park and ride.
Right.
So you don't want to discourage or say, well, we have a park and ride, but don't park the car there because it's going to get towed. So I just wanted to be careful that we're not making it an unfriendly place.
Well, and I think the way we handled it is appropriate
Yes,
for now. If
I
we
do.
have a car that has 2 or 3 snowfalls that is over 3 weeks, well, then maybe we have to address it
Right.
and have the car removed. But
Right.
again, we don't want to discourage the use of it, we want to encourage it. But we have I know, I believe it's Ms. Binns had called, and her and Rob had a discussion, or Officer Fisher had a discussion, they worked it out. I reviewed the entry last night, and it seems to be okay. If we have to go back,
Right, and that's because what happened was she came to me not understanding what to do, and that's why I asked, I said,
That's
let's
perfectly
have
fine.
Rob go down there, look it over, make a record of who's there, try to contact people if possible, and move from there at least. But I didn't want her to just like, it's time, we have to plow, let's get the cars out of there, I mean, I can't even be sure if somebody parked there Friday or Saturday, so I didn't want to start towing cars out of there right away.
right, and unless it's absolutely needed, I think that would be a last resort. That's
Right.
my impression.
I'm on the same page with you.
On the other hand, Karen, as you know, you were my deputy at the time, when we did the contract with the state, we actually had a fight for those 72 hours, because actually they wanted it basically as a day parking lot.
Right.
So, we got to hold to our guns to some.
Oh, I agree, and it hasn't been an issue, because I check that lot every night when I go home, or in the afternoon, or what have you. I ride through it, I don't want to say every night, but just about every night. I swing through just to see, and you know the people who are there and who are not. Some cars do stay there for some time, I guess probably maybe we should come up with a flyer we can put inside, or ask even Trailways to put on their website, because I know they encourage people to park there and use that. And also maybe we can put a notice inside the grocery store here that sells the Trailways tickets. Just a friendly reminder, that should, just so people realize it.
There's a sign right on the building that, 72 hours, but.
And there's a sign on the entrance to all the town that says no parking on Main Street, too. So, okay.
We're seeing each other tonight,
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, we all know what signs are, we all do, right? So, okay, thank you guys
Thanks,
very
Officer
much.
Stoll.
Thank you.
Chief.
Okay, so I did not mention Sean. So the water and sewer, Terry had a recommendation to, sorry.
Before it gets to the point where we're voting, I just have a question. Doesn't the person that is going to serve on water and sewer have to live in the district? I just thought that was a rule in that one.
You're talking about the commission, the
On the
commission.
commission.
Not in the work.
okay.
This is a job.
Municipal work, this is a weekend work.
This is a weekend
a
person.
paid job.
Yes.
Got it, okay.
This is a person, we had a person that worked 6 hours on the weekend, and he quit, so we're filling that position.
Okay, I apologize. I
No, it's
got
okay.
confused for a minute.
So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Sean Ryder Jr. to the Water and Sewer Department.
I'll second.
Cell phone? It is.
Was there a salary assigned to that?
I thought it was on Terry's note, and it's not, so
Um,
I would say, should we say at the rate that the previous employee is being paid now? Right.
Something to
Yeah. It's not.
At the same rate.
The same rate as the employee that resigned.
Councilman Gallagher?
I will abstain from this.
And he's only working 6 hours a week.
6 hours.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Campbell?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Everything yes, vote.
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Just for, to make it why I abstained, he's my nephew. So
Ah,
I have no issues with him, at least at this point.
Interest of full disclosure. Okay, we have some appointments to boards and commissions. There is a sheet, a separate sheet, with the applications attached. Now, are you okay if I do resignation and then on each, do I have to do all the resignations first to make this easier for you, or would you want to go through? I have some resignations too.
Okay, well, if you want to do that, it's just easier if we have them, because then when their minutes are being reviewed
Yep.
and they're looking for appointments and resignations, everything is there.
All right, so let's do this.
Okay, you want to do the resignation?
Yeah. I'd like to accept the resignation of John McColgan and Vicki Coyne for the Economic Development Commission. Resignation from Jessica Barry from,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast.
Yeah. And who was the other one, Jessica?
John McColgan, Vicki Coyne from Economic. Jessica Barry from Environmental. Robin Hastings from Recreation. That's it. We had some other possible resignations that I never got the actual resignation, so it's good. So it might be more openings in some of the other commissions.
So your second.
I'll second.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
So these resignations represent vacancies to be filled.
Yes. So we have some resignations that I don't have people to fill,
Yeah.
but some are reappointments and some are filling in some blanks that were resignations. Let me know when you're ready, Joan. I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Jean Burkowski to the Economic Development Commission for a 5-year term ending on 12/31/2017.
I'll second.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Michael Brophy to complete the term expiring on 12/31/2013, the Environmental Commission.
I'll second.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Oh, yes.
Councilman Hassett?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for Naya Kraus to be reappointed to the Environmental Commission for a term ending on 12/31/2015.
The three are all the same
Yes,
expiration?
I can do that together if you want, but I don't know if somebody would object to one or the other, that's why I'm putting it together, separate. Does anybody have an objection to that? All right, then I'll do them together, and if anyone has a problem, let me know. So I'll say, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Nadia Kraus, Joe Leone, and Jennifer Metzger to the Environmental Commission for a reappointment to 12/31/2015. Are you okay with that?
Need a second?
I'll second it.
My only confusion is, if it's a 3-year term and we're in,
That's right. It ended in 12/31/12.
okay,
13,
gotcha.
15.
Yep. I have to say it, otherwise I'm gonna
No,
wonder.
the numbers can make it crazy. I mean,
No question is a double question.
Roll call. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
yes. And I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Joe Leone as the Ulster County Environmental Management Council representative for a 1-year term ending in 2/13/2014.
Second?
Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Yes. Thought you were going to forget me for a minute. I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Jared Brown to a 7-year term to the planning board, term ending 12/31/2019.
I'll second that.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Absolutely.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Jared, 2019, that's a long time. My goodness. I thought it was a typo.
Planning it signs your life away.
You gotta hang in here now.
It's one of my first marriage.
Huh? I'd like to make a motion to reappoint for a 1-year term Ray Lucas and Anthony Stenta to the Police Commission to a term ending 12/31/2013.
Awesome.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. We have a little issue here, Fire and Recreation. We had someone that I believe wants to be reappointed. They sent me a note, but they didn't fill out the application. I don't know, it was John Coy, if the board's okay with the reappointment without the resignation, without the application, I'm okay with that. But he did not get the application into us.
I will vouch for it. I mean, if John wants to be reappointed.
He sent a note to Tara saying he wanted to be reappointed. You okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I did ask everyone to give us an application, but it was, right up to the 11th hour, he just couldn't get to the computer to get one. So, so I'll make a motion to.
All we could do is, go ahead with the appointment for tonight, and then, always hold that off until next month, just to get,
You want to hold off till next month or make the appointment?
it's up to the board, but I mean, in the interest of getting an application, just like everybody else fills out an application. I think John is sincere.
Yeah.
And,
And I know we're going to have some other vacancies on rec because
Yes.
there's been talk about it, but I haven't gotten them yet. Jill, do you remember what that term was?
7.
Huh?
7.
No, is it a reappointment for,
It's a reappointment for him.
and it's a 3-year, is it a 3-year?
that was 7.
Seven.
Okay. Okay, so I'll make a along with Christina, we'll also add John Boyd, I don't know how to spell it.
Hoops.
P-O-U-X?
Hoops.
P-O-U-X.
POUX.
I didn't know if the X was silent.
And then his would be the same.
Same time.
Was there something on there?
A second.
Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
I'm gonna abstain.
Supervisor?
Yes, and you have Christina Carr on that one too, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we have a reappointment, motion to reappoint James Mim to the Water and Sewer Commission for reappointment, 5-year term to end 12/31/17.
I'll second that.
You got a full board of them?
Yes.
Roll vote, Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Brandon Sharshu to appoint to a complete term expiring on 12/31/2013, and Matthew Turpin to be reappointed to 12/31/2014.
Since that's my commission, I'll second that.
Roll vote, Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes. This number's here as well. 12/31. Yeah.
You talking about Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it should be 12. All right, so for the zoning board of appeals, I'd like to make a motion for Frank Kleppeis to be appointed for a 5-year term ending on 12/31/2017.
Second.
Councilman Gallagher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes.
Councilman Hassel?
Yes.
Councilman Ryan?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, this is a stupid point, but it's come up twice in the last 5 minutes. For example, you appointed James Mim. There are 2 people named James Mim, and the same thing happened with Frank Kleppeis. There are 2 people named Frank Kleppeis. In both cases, it's a senior and a junior. And you understand where I'm going with it?
Yes, except they were the ones, they're on the board, so it's not.
So
like-
it's clear.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Thank you.
Who they are, thank you.
Just for
I wouldn't
clarification-
want to guess which is which, you know?
Yeah,
I
I
believe,
just
I think Frank's a
Fred,
junior and his son's a
Just for
third, actually.
clarification, the Mim is the older, and the Kleppeis is the middle.
Thank you.
He's actually 20.
Okay, so then we have some resolutions, appointments, alternates,
Have you done under the
resolutions.
resolution?
How about the alternates for planning board?
Resolution.
Working on it
Okay.
next. I'd like to, let's see, this is 2013-2, isn't it?
Yes.
Appointment of alternate member to the Town of Rosendale Planning Board, whereas from time to time it's necessary for permanent planning board members to be absent or excused or Board to recuse themselves from participating in particular action, whereas the Town of Rosendale has the authority to appoint alternate Planning Board members for the purpose of a quorum. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale hereby appoints William Moylan as alternate to the Town of Rosendale Planning Board to serve in the absence or recusal of regular members for a one-year term ending 2/13/14. Be it further resolved that pursuant to local law 7 of the year 2013, the chairperson of the planning board will designate alternate members to substitute when such designation is necessary.
Before we vote, can we just, can we combine these as resolutions 2 and 3?
I'm fine with that. Everybody else is the other.
And the
Take
two
the vote
names?
on it.
And the other one is John Ivankovic. The other one.
Second on us, or are you going to second both of them?
Yeah.
You'll do
Yep.
them.
I made the motion.
Yeah. I'll second both. Since we've got 93 resolutions to do.
And, oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. A lot easier if we don't do resolutions for next week.
So,
You're gonna roll vote it, or you don't?
Okay,
Resolution 2 would be Billy Moylan.
and resolution 3 will be John and Inga.
Yep.
Okay, roll vote. Councilman Gallagher.
Yes.
Councilman Green.
Yes.
Councilman Hassel.
Yes.
Councilman Ryan.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. Calvin. And Resolution 2, 2013-4, whereas from time to time it's necessary for permanent zoning board members to be absent or excused or recuse themselves from participating in a particular action, whereas the Town of Rosendale has the authority to appoint alternate zoning board members for the purpose of quorum, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale hereby appoints Kelly McKenzie as alternate to the Town of Rosendale zoning board to serve in the absence or recusal of regular members for an unexpired term ending 2/13/14. Be it further resolved that pursuant to local law 7 of the year 2013, the chairperson of the zoning board will designate alternate members to substitute when such designation is necessary.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Roll vote. Councilman Gallagher.
Yes.
Councilman Green.
Yes.
Councilman Hassel.
Yes.
Councilman Ryan.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Joan, for the purpose of the minutes, I withdraw my second and defer to Councilwoman Green.
Okay. We have, a little while ago, we talked about the Environmental Commission is going to do an energy workshop on 4/13/13. And I put the letter that you sent out, Jen, for the board to see.
Could you just change it to, I don't know if you're doing I guess a motion, but
It's going to be a motion, just so
Okay.
you're, showing that we need.
but it's
and-
Energy Expo, workshop, or the Rosendale Energy Expo.
Okay, because I thought that,
Instead of workshop, it's expo.
It's Expo and workshop.
okay, I didn't see it on there anywhere, so I thought it said workshop.
Register Energy Workshop and Expo, email,
Okay.
or, I
And-
don't know.
If you'll notice, there's an attached application, so I just want to make a motion to support the RCCE's Energy Expo workshop, just Energy Expo, on 4/13/13 and approve the application we send out to the vendors.
I'll second.
I think I may need to recuse, I just want to see how the board feels. I am
You're a participant.
one of the people that's helping to do this. I'm also a speaker, and the tour is at my house. I have no personal gain, but I think it probably is wise. I'm so deeply involved that
I personally don't see the conflict, but it's up to the rest of the board.
I don't see it.
It's 20 blocks away.
And even if you can't come for the whole workshop, I invite you all to come for the tour and see what they're doing to my house.
I'll just add that I think that if a member of the board wants to participate in an event that's being run by the town, that would be expected and not be, I don't consider that a conflict, but I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
Could you mail out a menu prior to it so we know who we want to order?
And this is an agreement used in the past too, right? For the past.
Yeah, it'll probably look familiar to Bob Gallagher.
This is the one that was used for January.
You heard about the first one and how, and the refreshments that were served. That's why everybody's coming back for the second one.
Okay, so I made the motion. Did somebody second it? Was you, Bob?
Councilman Gallagher,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ray,
Yes.
Councilman Hassett,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes,
Can I make one comment about the event?
sure.
We're really trying, as part of the event, to also, get as much public participation as possible and help people take advantage of these free NYSERDA energy assessments for their homes, and many people might qualify to get money toward making upgrades to their homes. So any assistance from the board and everyone else in the town to get the word out to the public would be great.
And I think we could probably make sure that we put something on the website as,
Right.
focusing on it, and even maybe the link to NYSERDA, the website for NYSERDA, would be good too. Okay, Joe? Thank you. Next, I just wanted to point out that we got our report for the Climate Smart Communities, Mid-Hudson region. And really basically, and I've had a long conversation with Carrie Hewitt, who's one of the individuals that helped us with this, that the rec center is actually working pretty well. And there's been a lot of concern and complaint about how inefficient it might be, and we're worried about the solar panels and how much we're spending on electric. But it's definitely, if you read over the report, it's definitely right about where it should be. And surprisingly, all the negative stuff I was hearing about how they thought the solar system wasn't going to be working. It's supposed to generate between 11,000 and 12,000 kilowatts of electricity per year, and it was generating 10,700. So
No,
it's
that's great.
pretty close. And the geothermal, they felt was working well. The only issue that we really have is the climate control, where we still have the issue where the entryway is very warm, to Sarah's office is very cold, and they thought that might be more of the distribution center, the system that distributes the heat more than the actual system itself. But, they said we could benefit from training, but I've been, talked to Bob, and and we continue to look at this, but I believe the staff really has been trained on how to take care of it.
Basically, what they were saying was they're saying with the controls that are involved, it has nothing to do with controls. I don't believe the system was properly balanced before it was installed. So that's why it's hot in there, cold back there. It's just a matter of balancing the system.
They recommended maybe we reach out to the installer. I don't know if it's too long a time has gone by, like they didn't do something right, and it seems like it's too long now to go do that. But we would qualify to go ahead and get this grant, but it doesn't make sense because we'd still be spending money that we wouldn't get a return on. so I don't see the point, and I think they recommended not to go forward with this. So as far as the retro commissioning, no, it's not really worth it for us. But I feel that it was definitely worth doing this investigation, because there was a lot of questions in our minds about how the system was working. The question we have to ask ourselves is, what do we want to do about do we want to look at how to distribute the heat a little bit better? Maybe it would be more efficient if it was distributed so that, you don't have a blast of hot air as soon as you walk in the door. So,
If I could just mention, I thought one of the more valuable findings of this assessment is that this building performs 32% more efficiently than other buildings of comparable size and use. So it's a highly efficient building from an energy perspective, and we would qualify probably for getting an Energy Star designation for the building, which would reflect well on the town and could be helpful for future grants if we just benchmark the energy use for the building. But I thought there was an interesting lesson from this too, because, everyone, we were all looking at the electricity bills in isolation without looking at the big energy picture. And when you look at the rec center electricity bills compared to all other municipal buildings, it's like this, But that's because we have geothermal, so we don't have heating oil. It is electricity is it, but when you turn that into BTUs, and when you compare it, comparably in energy use, it's actually really efficient, so.
yeah, and the write-up on that is on the second page, the top paragraph, will explain that. And,
I believe we used to put in oil or propane?
Oil.
In the old, and
yeah, I mean,
they
it's,
predicted a 60% savings.
well, this is the situation. We're getting 32% savings, okay? When you look at what, when you compare it to other buildings of its
Of
size,
its size.
they say it's a 32%
32%.
savings. The difference that you're talking about could be in the distribution, because, they're saying you are getting savings. Our question is, are we getting as much savings as we expected?
Yeah.
And that was what kept coming up, is should we be getting more savings? But they felt that doing this, going in for this retro, Kerry Hewitt said, that's a big expense to, probably not get a lot return. So that's something that, you guys could read this over and tell me what you think, but my feeling is, we came away with some good information, but I'd rather not spend the money.
Say put that money into a new carpet.
What?
Put that money into a new carpet.
Oh, please.
What is it about Rosendale?
Did you ever think there would be the day that we would want that old carpet back? It looked better than this.
Why is Rosendale so hard on carpet? What are we doing?
Because we're always on our feet doing things.
We shouldn't have
How's that?
carpet. We don't deserve carpet. We should have.
I think that we learned a lesson in how to take care of the carpet. It hadn't been taken care of properly. And, really should get, like a monthly cleaning, like not just vacuuming, or even every other week or something like that. And now it's, the housekeeper that we have now has been shampooing the carpet on a regular basis, and it's making some improvement, but you can't get rid of the damage that was already done. So I think it's about care.
And this is a relatively new building. I think the real issue came up when there was a big committee designing this facility. And the decision, under recommendation of CT Mail, was to basically go with a modular, prefabricated building. We couldn't get them to super insulate
Right.
a prefabricated
I know, and it's,
building.
most, as we'll probably find out in our Energy Fest, or, Expo, that, it's all about the envelope. So even if you're saving money by geothermal or solar, if you don't have a good envelope, you're not gonna get
It was the best we could get with that level of understanding. And CT Mail got a feather in their cap because they helped design a green building.
Yeah.
But it's so new, and there was such a big investment that I think I should should probably not talk tonight.
You gotta give up those cigars, that's what it is.
Anyway.
You know, looking at the
that
carpet.
It was just a recollection of,
Yeah.
if there was a time to do it, it would have been when the building was built, to do a little bit more
It
to
would
beef
have,
up the
it would have
insulation.
probably been a good idea to, plan for like foam, some kind of foam or
Yeah.
something like that, but, can't go back, let's go forward.
I'll tell you what, looking at the carpet, he must be putting some effort
He
in
has
this.
been,
Because
working on it.
there is a difference. I mean, it's not new, but.
It's better than it was.
Oh, my gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, the thing is when we stopped the 3-month cleaning, that went down real quick.
It did. And you also have to realize too, that this room, especially both rooms, it's used for a lot more than just meetings. There's a lot of functions that
Or parties.
involve food and drink, and, when people rent a facility like this, and a little something spills here, a little something spills there, they tend not to stop their party and clean it up. It's part of the bill. And so we've suffered for that for a number of years, and that's always gonna be a factor as long as we rent it out and
Might have to
we
go
have
to
parties.
bare floors eventually.
Well, yeah,
The whole
I mean,
thing is
this is
no
gonna have a
carpet.
shelf life. I think the shelf life is
I
going.
can see there's some buckling starting, because the more you shampoo it, the more buckling you're gonna have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
stretching. So that'll be-
Well, he must be putting some effort in, because I do notice a difference. I'm gonna have to-
Well, if he comes in after a party and there's a spill, he shampoos the carpet, that's what he does. All right, so the next 4 are the planning department updated applications. We're gonna do the same thing. One for site plan review, one for special use permit, one for subdivision lot line adjustment review, and one for site plan plat checklist.
We refer to our last week's.
Yes.
on that.
I didn't have the one for the,
Oh, that came in your new packet.
I didn't,
You didn't get it.
Jill was screwing me
Yell at
over.
Jill, will you?
Same one as last week.
No, there's a new one.